Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to episode 2 of the HTCG Community Collaborational Fantasy Map thing. And if you've not seen episode 1 already, go and give it a quick watch. I'm hoping this video is not going to be as long as that video. And basically, the idea was to make a fantasy map, but then have other homemade trading card games collaborate and basically expand the map, on all sides around it to make basically one giant fantasy map. So this episode, what I want to try and get through is, number one, if you're a HTCG creator, how you can join in on this collaboration. Second point is basically what have I done to this map since the previous episode. Thirdly is opening gateways to different sides of the map. And then fourthly, I want to just put some minor details in. And then in the future episode, we're going to be getting onto the actual locations of the map. So yeah, first things first, how to get into this collaboration. Basically, you can message me on Discord, you can message me on Instagram, you can even email me at wrathofcause@gmail.com. And basically, you just want to include your name, the name of your game, and basically what section of the map you want to connect it to. So for example, you can join in from the north, from the east, from the southwest, and even one of the angles, the northwest, southwest, northeast and southeast. And if we can get, that's going to be another 8, that'll be 8 collaborators just by drawing a square around this map. So I'd be really surprised if we can get a full at least 8 people to create one big massive map. So yeah, message me and basically message me what side you want to be on. If that side has already been taken, I'll probably assign you to the side adjacent to it. And if that's taken, then I'll have to message you to work out basically other options. Alright, moving on. What have we done to this map since the previous video? Basically, I've gone around with a bit more coffee. That's why you can see this is much more stained than in episode 1, because I've gone over it quite roughly with the same brush, but instead of brushing it across, I was just dabbing it quite abruptly, which is why we've got some thicker parts of the brown, in some places more than others. We've also finished off with some lakes. We've got a couple of lakes here and here, and I think this one was to be done as well. And then what are we going to be doing in this episode? So again, I'll speed it up, but the first thing I want to do is get an additional outline to the borders of the world. So here comes another video speed up. Okay, so what I've basically done in this video is I've gone around the outlines of the edges of the terrain with a secondary line which would usually denominate the shoreline of the edge of the island. Now you'll probably see in some points the shoreline is wider in some places. So usually where you would kind of expect there to be a cove or like a beach or a bay of such, you can kind of cut into that gap and basically have a bit more of a gap there than you would just running alongside like a straight. I've gone around a couple of these islands, and you've got another cove type bit here, and it happens somewhere else down here, and on the edge, don't know if you can just about see that, but the shoreline kind of protrudes out a bit more than the edge of the terrain there as well. I'm not going to do the lakes for now. I know I've done this one, but I don't think I was meant to do that. I'm going to leave the lakes for now, and I'm going to come into them in a future episode. One thing I didn't actually think about was this is an island. I need to connect it up to other people's maps. So for now, I'm only really going to focus on 2 entry and entry and access points, which basically means once I start getting more people in the HTCG community wanting to join in and creating a map, then I will start opening up other sections of, like, let's say the eastern and the southern plains. So for now I'm going to be opening up the northern and the western side, which basically means I'm going to have to rub out some of the terrain markings, edges of the terrain, what I've done already, and basically find a different design so that it can run off the page ready for the next person to link onto. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can probably create a whole inland piece of land, which I think I might do on the northern side. We can still have these islands, and then this will basically just run off. Then on the western front, I've got an idea for that. I'll come across that later. So for now, we're just going to focus on the northern plane. So first time we've had to bring out the rubber. So I'm going to rub out some of these markings. Hopefully it won't make too much of a mess. I don't want it to rub out too much of the coffee, which I don't think it's going to. There we go. And then I'm going to basically run, twist the camera a little bit. I'm going to run this plane now. Don't forget, keep it a little bit jaggy to imitate cliff edges. And then the shoreline, you don't have to be as jaggy, that can be quite smooth. And then on this side as well, I'm going to have that a little bit jaggy. You know what? I might just bring in a little river somewhere. So where should we have it? We could probably do a little river like that, just so it comes in from the shore. Like so. And then that's going to bugger off somewhere up there. Again, shoreline. Shoreline doesn't have to be as jaggy, but that can go off up there somewhere. Okay, so this way out now will basically be a connection to another HTCG creators piece who will hopefully collaborate with this whole fantasy map thing. On the western front, how are we going to do this? So I kind of want to do a slightly different approach to it just being like inland. And I was thinking of some kind of bridges, do you know, like old rickety bridges coming across this way over some mountains. So I think what we need to do is, I think we need to create some extra islands and then just start linking a few bridges over to it. So maybe if we do half of some islands, don't forget to keep it quite jaggy, like so. Don't forget the shoreline. And then maybe a couple of well, I say floating islands, but and then basically these lines will be like the rickety bridges, and then the next, if anybody wants to take up the western front, they can start off with these two pieces of terrains running off into a new piece of paper, which hopefully they will create this section of the map. Right, anyway, so we've done a little bit more on the map. I mean, I know it's not as long of a video than the first episode, but you know, the map's grown a little bit. I'll probably work on it a little bit outside of this video and show you what I've been up to in episode 3. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. So yeah, contact me if you want to be part of this HTCG community. You can always get hold of me on Discord or Instagram or even via email. Let me know what side you want. You can have, at the moment, let's say we've got the northern, the northwest and the western fronts available. And then if I get more than 3 people interested, I can start opening up the eastern and the southern plains. Anyway guys, and girls. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoy this episodal series, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.